to my fourth class on service development. So in the last class we saw about the branch step where we use both the evaluate branch condition and also we use the switch condition on the branch. So today we're going to see some more steps, but before that I wanted to touch base something on variables. So we have on the palette in the web methods we have variables, right? This one is a string. We didn't talk about this much. This is string list. So we're going to see what all these things are, right? So I'm going to just go to my OneNote and I have opened a section called variables. So the string that what you see there in this image, this is actually nothing but where we represent characters, right? So in the basic, since our web method itself is running on a Java based JVM, like we call the class of the Java as java.lang.string. This is basically characters, right? So the string list, where you see multiple things attached to it, kind of look here. This is called string list, and then we have string table. So let's see what those are. String list is nothing but it's a one-dimensional array. Like you have set of A's together, like A of 0, A of 2, A of 1, things like that. And the string table is like a matrix, like it's a two-dimensional array, right? Only two-dimensional it can be. It's not like more than two. So it's two-dimensional string array. That's when you call string table. Then we have more things called document, which we already started using it. This is actually, we call it as iData in web methods, and this is nothing but a container. It can hold multiple things. It can hold a string list. It can hold a document. Inside a document, it's like container, you can say, right? A document list is nothing but iData array. This is like array of containers, right? So that's the thing. It's one-dimensional array of containers. This one is called document list. Then we have something called document reference. This is nothing but a link to this document, right? You already created a document and you created it. We already started doing this. In some of the exercises in the classes, but in the YouTube video this is new. So we can come across this document reference soon in our class as well. So then same, when you have document reference list, this is like an array of document reference list, right? So then the other one we have is called object and object list. Right? If you wanted to represent anything other than direct string, you can use object. So we are going to use this object today and see what different is it from this string. Yeah? So here I have actually checked C equal to 0 and I got the result here, right? But now I wanted to check, so here let me put the C here, and this is now string table. Let me put the C here, and I'm going to map the value here. I've lost the value, so okay, fine. Now, in this, I'm just going to map this message, and the default, okay, this is service means. Okay. This one, I'll change it to the basic level itself here. Okay, so here it says adding 0. So let me run this service. Right. So this is anything other than 0. So what I expect here is right. I expect here is my result. That's it. And then now I put 0 here. I put 0 here. And now I got the 0th result stuff Let me close all other windows. I'm going to click here and say this is 0. Now I want to check if the value is negative or not, right? So I'll put here to identify negative, right? I'll just put negative and I'm going to put less than 0. Let's see if this is going to work or not. Okay, so now I'm going to go and see if I have anything here. Okay, see, I have negative. So in this one, when I directly put less than 0, it works fine, right? So how about right now I'm using the string directly as a string. How about I try to use this whole thing as an object, right? So I'm going to my output. Here I have a string here. I'm going to change this string type to an object now. Let's see how it works. I'm going to say, because I'm going to use this for an API, I want the variable to represent the actual value because I'm going to expose it to outside world here. So now I say object and I'm going to do something here, Java wrapper type. I'm going to say select integer. See, once I change this, this is going to automatically change. Data type is object and this is nothing but it's using the Java class integer. So it automatically changes here, the look. Okay. So now in the tree, I'm going to unmap my stuff. I'm going to move this down so I can see the pipeline value out here. Before I map this, I'm going to delete all these previous mapping because this is my string C which I don't want to see here. I do everything unlinked and go here. Now I'm going to map the value here. See, once I mapped it, I'm moving this step above. See here you have move up, move right? So we didn't talk about this in the branch step starting. So all these steps inside the branch step, if you see, they are all indented inside the branch, right? So if you put this outside the branch, this doesn't belong inside the branch. It executes as a separate step by itself, right? So now I'm going to do this, and I mapped this one to C here. Okay, and let me run this thing again. I'm going to run this. Let's see what I'm going to see here. Okay, null value because I didn't map it. Okay, let me know map it and map this. Map this. I'm going to run this again. I'm getting the output 23 as this. Let me see. I'm expecting this output. Fine. Let's go to this. I'm getting the value as it is. So the thing is, you sometimes get in the data wrapper type, it could be integer. Sometimes if you go and see, this could be like a boolean object. If you see, it will change as true or false icon. So this could be something else like a date object, right? It will be date object. So when you get this as objects in some form, sometimes in calculations, you might need to convert this to a string in order to do some casting if you wanted to change it to something, right? So sometimes when you are doing the programming, you might come across this string to integer to string like you come across in any other programming language. So how we do this in web methods is this, like simple using Java wrapper type, right? So far we saw overall what all variables we have. It's so simple. You just represent everything in this list, and you just add the wrapper type for object. So now I go back to my overview thing. So we covered the branch step and we covered the invoke step, right? So now what next? We'll do the repeat step. So let's open a service, new repeat step. So what is about this repeat step? Let's see where it is first. Okay, here, repeat step. I'm just going to go here and going to do adding, paste it, and remove all the stuff here. We go to the repeat step now. I'll see what is here. So here's there's something called repeat interval. That means if how much time do you want to give before repeating the step what is inside, which is called add-ins, right? So now I wanted to say here how many times you wanted to repeat this. So I'll say I want to repeat this 5 times, and I'm going to put a couple of things inside here. Inside the repeat step, I'm going to put my debug log too. But this is not a branch step. I don't need anything in the label, right? And let me not do this mapping. I'll just tell what I wanted to put here. See here, there is a new variable appeared. This variable I wanted to write it here. So I'll put retry, and how I represent my variable with percentage symbol, and this variable name is retry, and I'm going to close this to see if my value is actually coming out or not. I'll put some dashes here just to see if my value is coming. Okay. Just have to test service counter. Okay. Now let's go here, and I have value. So I'm just going to add. Let me see. I'm going to put some input value. Say A, and I'll put an output value C. Let me map this input value here, and every time this repeat step runs, I wanted to add the count by 1. And I'm not sure if it would be outside or anything else. So now, let me drop this. Output, let me say. Okay. So I'm going to say count 5, right? I didn't put anything in the repeat interval. That means it will be happening immediately. So let me go and check the logs here. I just created a new service. So that's it. I'm going to run this service. Run. And I say 100. 101. What happened to my service? Oh, because I dropped the A here. Let me drop it. Here is where I'm playing my, I have the issues starting. So I have mapped the A to this one. A is now, I'm actually mapping the value to B. Let me see. And instead of that, basically I should map it to the same value. That's way I can actually keep on mapping A to A and adding by 1. So basically what I did was not right. So let me put A. It's just going to give the output A. So whatever I'm going to put output like 100, it's going to keep on incrementing, and I'm expecting 105. Let's troubleshoot what is happening here. So I'm having A. Oh, okay. Now I know. It's not repeating because I'm telling repeat on failure. So there are three things. One is the count, another one is the interval, another one is repeat on failure. So here there is no failure. So I'm going to say repeat on success, because every time this step is succeeding, it's stopping in the first repeat. So 100. Now I see 106. It's repeating like 5 times. First time it comes as it is, and then it repeats 5 more times, right? So then the count is 5. And now let's go and check the log. Here. Oh, I didn't get any value here. Let me see what's wrong. Okay. Oh, I didn't say perform variable substitution. Okay, and I also can map the value here. My service is quite incomplete. Okay, now it's complete. That's it. Okay. Go into the server. Now I say retry 1, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106. Right? So it actually, how it increments, you can see right here. Right? So when the repeats count every time you retry. First time it is actually not a retry, that is the first actual execution. Then it's actually repeating 5 times. That's what is happening here, if you can see here, right? So from this first time when it counts, the retries is nothing. It's the first actual stuff. So why do we have the repeat on success, repeat on failure? Sometimes we have some operation here which can involve calling an external server. So usually we use this repeat step most of the time, not all the time, for some connection failure handling, right? If there is a failure, retry. And we also specify a repeat interval, like retry in 1 minute, right? And then it will stop retrying once it succeeded. That's when we use repeat on failure, right? So just that's it. So let's see. So we talked about repeat step as well. Repeat step is one of the simplest step here. So let's meet again soon in the next class with the following steps. Then